Hi, this is Ty Bordoni, professional mediator and primary mediation trainer here in Central Florida in Orlando. And recently I had a mediation, and something that um, I do as a product of working virtually um, was commented on by one of the attorneys I was working with, and I thought, let me talk about it and let everybody know. And it's just like it's not even procedural. It's just, I think, a practice that I think makes sense for when we're working and when we're mediating virtually. Let's be honest, virtual mediation here to stay. And I'll admit I am very spoiled now. I really like um, how much more productive and just the affordability that it helps make mediation more affordable, and it just allows everyone, in my experience, to be just more productive, right? It just cuts off a lot of traveling and what have you, and there's just a convenience factor to it. Now, every mediation can't be, but a lot of them, many can, right? And so with respect to sometimes you're mediating, and so you find yourself in caucus with the parties, right? And then so the mediator typically goes back and forth. Now, of course, now when we were in person, uh, when you would leave one party before you went to the other, before you walked in, what'd you do? You knocked on the door. I mean, it's just common courtesy, right? But how do you knock on a virtual door? And so a lot of times, if you just join the button, let's say we're doing Zoom, if you just join the other room, the parties might be talking privately. And so I'm conscious of the fact that, I may be interrupting. And I think that just etiquette would be such that it would be better, one, if Zoom would put that kind of function, but in a way they have. And what I mean by that is, so, and this ties to something else. And so you're in caucus, you're about to leave, and it's time to go to the other room. Instead of hitting the breakout room button and then joining the other room, don't do that. Instead, what I do is I hit the leave the room button, right? And what does that do? It takes me back to main session. So one, we shouldn't be using main session as a breakout room. Why? If any party leaves the breakout room, or if they're in a different room and they hit leave breakout room button, where do they go? They go back to main session, do they not? So if you are having a caucus and you're using main session as one of your rooms, if someone either inadvertently or purposely presses that button, where are they? They're going to show up, going to be a little awkward. You're going to have to stop. You're going to have to put them somewhere else. And who knows, once in a blue moon, if the parties are really going crazy, there might even be a few words exchanged. Sometimes people don't want to see the other party. So just so that there's no unexpected surprises, use separate breakout rooms, right? We should always have at least one breakout room for each party. I always like to have an extra breakout room for professionals, attorneys, right? Sometimes it's great to get them together. And I make another just in case. You never know when you need it. I've needed it once or twice. In any regard, so you have everybody in their own rooms, and you leave breakout room, you leave main session empty. Why? I call it the mediator's safe place. What do I mean by that? When you leave breakout room and you go to main session, so if you're like me, you talk a lot, and now you can breathe, right? Even mediators need a break, and you can get something to eat, you can get something to drink, maybe you can go to the restroom, let them know appropriately. And what I mean by that is, so this is what I mean by knocking on the virtual door. So the first thing I do when I go back into the into main session, the mediator safe place, is I hit the breakout room button, and then there's a button that says message all parties, right? I will hit that immediately, first thing I do. And I will say, I will be joining the petitioner or the plaintiff and counsel, however it may be, momentarily. And I hit send. Everybody sees that message. That is a way of knocking on the virtual door. If parties are speaking privately, now they'll have a moment before you come in, they're expecting you, right? They can finish up what they're saying, and I'll give them a few moments before I jump in. Or at the very least, now they know that you're coming and they're ready for you, right? So that's what I mean by knocking on the virtual door. That's how I do it. And at the end of one of my recent mediations, one of the attorneys was like, I really like that you do that. How did you do that? I don't see anyone else do that. And while I like to teach, the students that I train that, I wanted to put that out there because I think it's helpful. I have found it to be helpful, right? Doing that. And again, where do you do it? In the mediator safe place, which is main session when you're in Caucus, because that's where you breathe. That's where you get something to drink, get something to eat. If you need to go to the restroom, you'll say, I will be in with the other party in 3 or 4 minutes, right? And you can review your notes so that you've got it right before you go on in. Sometimes when we jump from one to the other, in your haste, you might miss it something. You might say something. Well, review it. Take a moment. Catch your breath after you've knocked on the virtual door. I hope that's helpful. And best of luck. And how do we make a difference in the world? By mediating. Go out, make a difference in your community, and in turn the world by mediating. And how do we get better? By mediating, experience and practice. And if you can't actually mediate, observe, right? Find a mentor. So thanks, stay well. Please like and share this. I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay well.